Good afternoon, coaches. So we are here to again discuss and know more about one chapter from Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. So today I'm going to talk about conscious parenting, how our parenting actually influence um, one's life more than the genetic itself, more than the genes itself. So that's what we are going to know. So let's get started. So so we are going to um see the impact of parenting more than the genes itself. So we all know that how subconscious mind actually decides our health, in fact, decides our life. So we always know that whatever the conscious mind we are aware about, it's just the tip of the iceberg. But beneath that, there is a very huge iceberg. So what Bruce Lipton says here is, so from birth to till 6 years, we so the brain waves, it is in the theta waves. Okay, so we all know the brain waves go like this. So beta, alpha, then delta and theta. So now um, from birth to 6 years, the brain actually stays in theta state. And in this theta state, the child absorbs every single thing without filter. So theta wave is something like it is more of a non-judgmental wave. So it cannot analyze, it doesn't have logical or reasoning stuffs like that. So it absorbs every single thing without judgment. And whatever the parent says or feel, it becomes the child's inner truth. And very important here is the conscious mind actually process just 40 bits per second, whereas the subconscious mind can process 20 million thoughts per second. So means you imagine the proportion. See, 40 versus 20 million. So it runs most of our reaction and the habits. Okay. So this becomes very automatic. And later in life, this becomes the huge challenge to consciously change a person. So where does this starts from? So the first thing, the first classroom for every human is the mother's womb. So that is the first classroom. So the mother's reaction or the emotion really impacts the fetus in a to a larger extent, and that decides the child's life overall. So the mother's emotions and hormones directly impact the fetus. So he says like two things. If the mother is feeling very safe and secure, then the baby is like a very calm baby. He or she is able to handle life in a better way. But rather, if the mother undergoes a lot of stress, lot of fear, then the cortisol takes up, and what happens here is the protection mode. It has been on, that is the fight or flight, and this in turn automatically what happens shuts down the development of other organs, especially like immune system or the digestive system. So eventually what happens is there is a compromise compromised development of the child's internal organs. So there are many studies, I haven't taken up any studies, but the studies have shown that the maternal stress actually leads to either smaller babies or high BP, where either the mother itself experiences it, and metabolic issues later in the life. So it could be for the mother or even for the baby itself. So now he also says even the intelligent quotient, the intelligence itself is being decided by the human only, not by the gene. So he says like about 50% of the IQ is decided by the gene. It is not even 50%, lesser than 50%. And predominantly the IQ is being decided by the environment only. So the environment, like not only the behavior, but also the stress, the malnutrition, the alcohol, all these things can actually impact the baby's brain development. And the cortisol, we all know that it always limits the blood flow to rest of the organs. Exception is that the heart, the lungs, and the limbs, because for the fight or flight response. So now what he says is even the IQ is being decided by the parents only, in the sense like the environment with which the child grows, whether it is in the form of fetus or even after the birth. And so now we have to be more what say conscious. That is the emotional connection with the unborn. See, now there are like that good awareness has actually evolved, that during pregnancy it decides the mother's um, mental issue, or the mother's emotional being is very very vital during her pregnancy, because it also impact the baby's overall development. So the fetus actually feel the parents emotions, and we all would have come across certain videos also, the sonogram, where the baby actually responds to any kind of conversation between the parents, or between any of them for that matter, mother, how she interacts. So if there is a fight, then the baby is able to detect that, sense that okay, I'm not feeling safe, and it shows some jerk. So these are all been happening now, and good that there is a good amount of awareness has started spreading. So what we have to understand is what Bruce Lipton says here is, see, the unborn is sensitive, responsive being, and not a passive organism. So it just doesn't allow something to pass through, but rather the baby actually starts absorbing every single thing, and it starts preparing its own for the upcoming life. So basically, what happens is the environment within which the fetus is there, it actually decides whether the baby is going to be in a survival mode or in a creative mode. So he is actually trying to repeat the same thing, that environment plays the major role, not the genes. He's just comparing the genes and the environment. And for the child, the environment is first the parents. Only then it starts communicating with the rest of the society, rest of the environment. But parents are its primary environment. So he says like the fetus adapts to the parents' environment for survival. So he again gave two categories. Like if the parents are like calm and composed, then the baby feels so safe and trust. So automatically, what happens? It's development focused towards the growth and nurturing. But if the parents are like very always fighting between each other, always fearful, then the baby also absorbs the same vibration, and eventually it is wired for defense and anxiety. And many of you would have started handling clients whose most of the trauma lies in their childhood. It is not that after they became adult they started having all sorts of issues. The adult is a tipping point. They realize something is going wrong in their life, so they come to us. But when we start doing the history, then everything is linked with their childhood life. So now both parents, it's not just the mother, even the fathers, both of their emotion actually impact the gene expression of the child. So very important. So that is through genomic imprinting. Now, what he says is that is the reason, even for preparing for pregnancy, there has to be certain things done so that the upcoming child, he or she, will be like having that safe environment to thrive, okay, rather than surviving. So he says, like, first of all, both the parents, when they have planned for the baby, they have to first of all do certain rituals. Like they can do some cleansing, they can set some intention. It's not just the lovemaking, but it is more of like um, bringing up another human to this world. And through that human, we are going to witness the evolution. of the overall humankind. So every parent has to have that thing in their conscious mind, and then they have to plan for their pregnancy, and then they have to go about the entire pregnancy journey. So it doesn't stop with the pregnancy as such, but it is throughout the baby growth later in life, whatever it is. But it has to start from the very beginning, right from the conception, even before the conception. That's what he's saying. So he is actually saying all the positive or the high energy emotions definitely has a imprint on the gene, and the parents decide which gene has to be expressed. So from this, what I understood was, um, any case we come across with any genetic disorder, probably the we still have hope. Bruce Lipton has thrown some ray of light that we can actually even minimize those kind of genetic disorders, even before they plan for pregnancy, or while if they reached out to you during their pregnancy, we can still do all these things, and we can minimize the genetic disorder condition. So now we saw all about the baby being in the womb. Now he's shifting towards the first 6 years of life. He's saying like from zero. Okay, from zero, that is the day, on the day the baby is born. So as I told you in the first slide, babies are like till 6 years, they are in the theta wave. They absorb everything. They don't judge. Whatever they hear, they believe in that. They doesn't have that logical, analytical thinking. So it is like a sponge, and every surrounding they keep absorbing, whether they are aware or not. They keep absorbing just like that, and every single tone, every single touch, that starts programming the subconscious mind, not the conscious mind. We think that we are actually trying to raise a kid with more of that command from to the brain, consciously we are giving, but it is not so. Actually speaking, every word we speak, it is not to the conscious self but to the subconscious. So suppose if we say like, don't eat that, don't eat this, don't watch this, you're weak. So all these things get imprinted without any filter. And at the same time, the positive interaction starts building confidence. They are like more self-reliant, and they are a better individual. So around this age 6, this alpha and the beta brave start increasing. Till then, till 6 years, it is the theta wave. And the child starts thinking critically. Okay. So this is the first 6 years of life is where the subconscious program is being done. It is programmed. So I'm stopping here, and I would like to share something else in context to the same thing. Is my screen visible? Coaches, anyone?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So this is from the book called Metaphor of Memories from Dr. Natwar Sharma, and I really thought that I will share this very much connected with the session what we are doing right now. So he actually beautifully narrates about a case. So I'll just read through, just listen. A 5-year-old Mona was my very first pediatric case in regression. She walked into my clinic with a very inquisitive look on her face, hand in hand with her young mother. Thick, heavy glasses rested on her little nose, and I couldn't help wondering how awful it looked on her otherwise cute and innocent face. Her mother looked very anxious and sad. She said, "My daughter has such beautiful eyes, but these glasses make them look so horrible." She explained that the child was diagnosed with hypermetropia. Hypermetropia is an eye disorder more commonly known as farsightedness or long-sightedness. It is a condition that results in blurry vision of nearby objects, while objects that are far away appear normal. On interacting with Mona, I found her to be very sweet and talkative, with a willingness to cooperate and do as she was told. Yet the first thought that came to my mind were, will I really be able to help this girl through regression? After all, her condition could very well be genetic. She might have been born with the defect, which was diagnosed later than sooner. My initial hesitation to treat her was influenced by my mind schooled in allopathy. But on closer examination of her case history, I discovered that her father had mild myopia, and as her mother was free of any eye disorder, she did not wear any eyeglasses. Thus, it was clear that the girl's vision could not be linked to her family history. I decided to go ahead with regression, assuring the mother that it was a simple process through which we would try to find the cause of her daughter's problem. At the same time, I also cautioned her that I could not guarantee a successful result. If at all the disorder was genetic, in all probability, Mona's regression would not reveal anything substantially to identify the root cause of her defective eyesight. Asking the mother to wait outside the room, I started chatting with the girl, who was more than willing to participate. Since I was dealing with a child for the first time, I had to use a different approach to induce her into a trance. Usually, most of my adult clients take a while to go into a deep state of trance where they are able to access their subconscious. But with Mona's session and with those of other children that followed, I came to realize that children were much more amenable and moldable than their adult counterparts. It was easier to take children into a state of trance and have them tap into their subconscious. Nevertheless, I was dealing with a child and I knew it was better to talk her language to make my work simpler. I told her, let's play a game that has a lot to do with your mind. Your mind is so strong and powerful that it can help you find the problem with your eyes. Are you willing to play with me? If you win, I shall give you a little gift. Mona was excited and more than willing to join the fun. I went on to explain the rules. Throughout the game, you need to keep your eyes closed and follow my instructions. You may share with me whatever you experience, whatever you go through when your eyes are closed. The girl sat on the couch and I asked her to close her eyes. Within 2 minutes of suggestion, she was in a state of trance. Me, connect with your eyes, go deep, deep, deep to understand where the problem lies. When and where did the issue with your eyes begin? So Mona starts saying, I'm small, I'm watching my favorite cartoon on TV. How old are you? I'm small, I can walk. I gathered she was recollecting the time when she was 1 or 2 years old. How are you feeling watching the cartoon? Oh, I feel so nice. I was amused by the gleeful smile on her face and as she enjoyed a recap of her favorite program on TV. The cartoon characters are so funny, I like it. I gave her the pause to allow her to cherish the memory. Suddenly, she assumed an agitated tone. Mona, Mama is coming and telling me you're watching too much TV. Your eyes will get spoiled. And from her state of trance, I heard the child imitating a powerful suggestion from her mother. If you watch TV, your eyes will spoil. And it left such an impact on the girl's mind that whenever she would sit to watch television, she thought that her eyes will spoil would already be at work in her subconscious. As Mona recollected this suggestion from her mom, she started rubbing her eyes. Why are you rubbing your eyes? They feel tired, so I'm rubbing them. I'm scared that my eyes will spoil. Mama said if I watch TV too much, my eyes will spoil. I could see that each time she sat to watch TV, her subconscious mind would throw up the suggestion that, oh, my eyes will get spoiled. She would keep rubbing her eyes and unconsciously keep making the suggestion she had heard from her mother to herself. Sadly, the mother had no clue about the damage her seemingly harmless statement had done to her daughter's tender mind, finally resulting in her eye disorder. Once I was able to identify the root of a problem, I had to assume an altogether different approach to initiate the process of integration in the child. I asked her a few more questions. Who are your best friends? Mona mentioned three names. Do they wear glasses? No, none of them wear glasses. Do they watch TV? Oh, yes, they do. For how long in a day? I do not know exactly, but they certainly spend more hours in front of the TV than I do. I know that because they keep telling me about all the different programs they get to watch on TV. Did their eyes spoil? Do they wear glasses? No, they don't wear glasses. So then, why do you think your eyes will spoil? You don't seem to watch TV for long hours. You are right. Compared to my friends, I watch less TV. My eyes should be better. Good. Now connect with your eyes and tell them firmly that you do not watch TV for long hours, that there is no reason why your eyes alone should spoil when all your friends are happy with good eyesight. Okay, I see a brown patch in each eye. What do you want to do with those brown patches? I want to remove them. Go ahead, remove those patches. How do they look? They look like mud. They look bad. I want to throw them out. Who's stopping you? Throw the dirty mud out of your eyes and instead fill them with a nice blue light. I was amazed by the young girl's willingness to cooperate and creative potential of her imaginative mind. It was as if she was performing a mental surgery on her own eyes like a professional doctor. With that, we finished the session. Mona woke up with a cheerful face and a twinkle in her eyes. So now then, finally, I will just jump into the conclusion. By the end of 1 year, Mona's eye power had come down to +1 and it continues to be so till today. This was indeed one of the most astounding cases I had handled so far, and I was once again, bowled over by the power of suggestion, the power of the subconscious. It was amazing how effectively and successfully an innocent child could heal herself simply by the power of thought. So now I will continue with the. Okay. So this much effective that a parent can do. It wasn't genetic, but unknowingly that gene expression got bigger. So now the real growth nutrients are nothing but the touch, the love, the security with which we are raising our kids. So there were so many studies, and one of the studies showed that on Romanian orphans, they revealed that lack of affection and touch led to high cortisol and poor emotional regulation and a long-term damage. So eventually, the all the study what it reveals us is, so whenever we are able to connect with our kids emotionally, physically, they have better better development overall, or otherwise it leads to high cortisol and eventually the development of other organs or their emotional development, whatever it is, everything is hampered because of this high cortisol. So there are like other studies like Michael work shows that the children thrive through playful connection, curiosity, and joy, and not early academic pressure. That's what they. I mean, there are so many other studies as well where they say like don't push them into that kind of a zone where the society is following something and you are supposed to do the same thing. So that kind of a pressure actually creates a lot of damage to the kid rather than the kid rising to above the you know above the beyond, right? And cultures that maintain physical affection raise more peaceful society. So that is what he says. Now there is another thing. So chemistry itself is like there are two types of chemistry, so the stress and the growth. So what they say is again he is stressing on that the stressful situation. So short term stress, it is very good actually. Stress response is always good. So fight or flight, if it is for a very short period, then it is actually good. It is for the survival mechanism is on, that is good. But if that extends, like it becomes like a long term, then it starts giving that kind of a long term chronic condition, which we witnessed in that case of the 5-year-old. So it will actually cause a more of any kind of chronic condition for that matter. And one study has showed that adults with a history of childhood trauma are, double the at the risk of getting cardiovascular disease. And again, there is another again stressors like the environmental and the chemical stressors. So we use a lot of what say plastics, or for that matter, we use a lot of that fragrance kind of thing, the soaps. Every single thing actually create an environment knowingly or unknowingly, and the body gets used with that. So what happens is the once that see the first time when the body encounter a new environment, it actually cope up with something, right? So that gets recorded in the brain. So when second time it gets encountered, automatically it goes back to the same pathway and it starts doing the same thing. So the chemicals for that matter, once it get exposed, the body take up the similar pathway and it keeps repeating the same thing. Okay. So these chemical stressors, like the emotional ones, even during emotions, again, hormones are nothing but the chemical messengers, right? So it keep the body keep giving the same kind of response automatically without our conscious mind involved in it. And so we saw about the pregnancy, then the 0 to 6 years, and in between we have this, breastfeeding, where it has got a very emotional bonding between the mother and the baby. And so we all know clinically how beneficial it is, like when the baby is breastfed versus bottle fed. So he talks about the same thing, and especially C-section babies, they have, like, very reduced microbiome. So when they were born itself, they've been compromised with their immune system, especially with their microbiome. And on top with that, if they are being fed with this commercial formulas, it is going to aggravate or worsen the situation. So breastfeeding releases oxytocin and dopamine. We all know that. So it eventually actually gives a very good positive environment for the mother and the baby. And at least for that 10-15 minutes of this breastfeeding, it actually gives them that window period to heal themselves. Whatever is there, at least they are relaxed and they have a very good 15-20 minutes of their time. So he says like that is very important. And next is the language and the connection that shapes the brain. So again, he says when babies are allowed to watch more of screen, their IQ is eventually less compared to the babies who they communicate with their parents. Like, parents keep talking, or with the elderly people, they keep listening their voice. Their IQ are much better. So that's what the studies also says. And so there is one study where Patricia, she did the study in 2011, found that babies exposed to language through live interaction, they had a stronger brain responses compared to the one who were like exposed to the videos, just the screens. And also, Hart and Bisley showed that the children who hear more words in their early age, early life, they have higher IQ and they have better academic performance. So these two studies are like very, you know, they are actually highlighting that the more we communicate with the babies have better IQ in terms of everything. Let it be the academic performances, or let it be the responses, how they respond to any kind of situation. So everything is better compared to the baby who been exposed to the screens. So he says like language is a very important nutrient that has to be given. And we all know about this neuroplasticity. So brain is like plastic. I mean, you can twist and turn. So that's the image that shows. So it doesn't matter what age you are in. It is still possible for us to, fire and wire the neurons in a new way. All that we need to do is we have to do only the repetition. Okay. For children, it is easy for us to do, but the adult kid, we need more of consistency, more of that habit formation. So every adult can reprogram their subconscious mind. Okay. So he uses this term called energy psychology. I really love that. So energy psychology. So he says like you keep you first of all, we have to be more open to learn new things. This is one. Second thing, once you start learning it new, try to put it into practice, keep repeating it. And he says like more focus on the being, that is on the energy level. And it can be rewired any which ways we can rewire the brain. So what he says is like loving conscious environments can heal even early neglect. Okay. So the orphanages, what we saw about the Romanian orphanages, they saw this EEG pattern that becoming normal once they were allowed to expose themselves to, people around them, that hugs and that, physical touch, that love communication, everything actually healed. And they saw an amazing shift in their EEG patterns. So brain can be rewired at any stage of life. And so now he says like the biggest um, the biggest mistake anyone can do is exposing kid to medicines, right? So he criticizes the overuse of the pharmaceutical drugs, especially antibiotics in children. And he also highlights that the energy psychology and the lifestyle change can often produce more deeper healing than the drugs itself. So he says like, try to be more you know human being, like be with the kid, um, try to spend or invest more time with them. So it is like what happens is eventually it is not just the kid alone gets healed, even the adult himself or herself also has an opportunity to heal. So he says like the energy psychology and the lifestyle change has long lasting impact, deeper healing, that's what he says. And excess antibiotic, we all know that it always disturbs the microbiome in the gut, weakens the immunity. Eventually these both things will influence your emotional well-being. And again, emotional well-being now will do that, it will take on that vicious cycle or the loop. So he says like better to stay away from the medicine, rather it's like it doesn't cost anything for us to have a lovely talk with the kids, to spend some time with them, it doesn't cost much. So he's saying like try to be do that because that has a deeper healing more than the drug itself. So the final message for the parents, what he says is like every parent, so basically every human plays a role in what's it triggering the gene expression in a kid. Okay, everyone. It's not just the parents alone. It's the entire society, entire family. So the way we nurture or neglect the children, that determines what gene to get expressed. Okay. Not only that, it doesn't influence that one individual person's health, but also collectively the direction of human evolution. So, whether through loving words or emotional stability or reduced toxin, every conscious act influences the generation to come. So, he concludes each of us must realize that every child's behavior will influence the evolution of all of us. This is what he says. So, the key takeaway, it is not about perfection. Parenting is not about perfection, but awareness. So, conscious parenting. Why am I doing this? From where did I get that belief? And why am I trying to just try to implement or just try to throw it on my kids? So, that is very vital. So, be aware while parenting. And he says they literally program the children's genes. So, what gene to be expressed? It is absolutely with the parents' behavior. And so, how do they do that? They do through this emotions, through nutrition, lifestyle, everything. So, love, safety, and connection create biologically resilient, emotionally intelligent children, shaping not only families but the future of humanity itself. So, with this, I am just concluding my session. Thank you so much for patiently listening. So, any questions? What is any questions? Am I too fast? Too many slides, so I thought I shouldn't.
It's a wonderfully explained, Revati. Uh, really beautiful.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you so much, Jyoti.
more lessons, more learnings for all of us. So it's eye opener, in fact. Of course, we keep listening the same scenario. Sorry if it is too disturbing. I'm in a metro
No,
station.
no, no, no.
Uh, so we often keep saying this multiple times that, yeah, kids are our own reflection. and we need to work on the parents. We all are aware of it, but the kind of details that were given in this book and for you are amazing. You know, especially the 4 pages, the Mona's episode was mind blowing. What is that book, Revati?
It is Metaphor of Memories by Dr. Natwar Sharma.
Wonderful. So thank you for bringing that. So,
Thank
in
you.
this book, were there any episodes or clinical cases described or discussed wherein these kind of like Mona's kind of condition um, can be healed, and any more further examples given
See,
in this
metaphor.
biology of finish?
Okay, see, in Metaphor of Memory, those pages, that book is completely full of case stories only. Whatever he has done, he has explained it. He himself is a doctor, so that book can be used as a reference if it is for our research papers. And in Biology of Belief, yes, there are so many quotes he has taken from the papers. He has taken references from the research papers. We can use this book. We have the final thing is epilogue. The epilogue has got more of case studies. So we can use it for our reference wherever we do the presentations, for the papers or for the conference, whatever it is, we can use it. It's definitely acceptable.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you,
So,
Jyoti. Any questions, coaches? Any takeaways for you from this session? Just one or two lines, please.
Hi, Revati. It was a very beautiful session. It was like we could connect. We could connect, and I was able to go back uh, to my childhood, whether I have any of those thing, embedded in my subconscious. So I could see that, and I could see how my mother's subconscious was impacted by that word, that persistent stress, right? So my mother had persistent stress since her childhood, where she was mocked and commented and everything. So even now, if somebody even just normally talks, she goes into defense mode. But now, and as it said, it will cause autoimmune disorders. My mom has got rheumatoid arthritis and psoriasis also. Okay, and I have a touch of that also. Okay, so I could see that it's a reflection somewhere. I'm reflecting my mom's energy, or I don't know. But still, I could connect. Okay, and it's 100% true. And I have a question here. With that case study where you said about the child, 5, 6 year old child with the eye issue. I was suddenly thinking about my younger brother's daughter. She's around 3 years old, and she has a hearing issue. Okay. So is it possible that she could have something, but we realized it only after she was 1 year old. Okay, we're not quite sure whether she was able to hear before or not. We don't remember because after 1 year only she started walking. So when we call him, she couldn't turn. So I was thinking, is there a possible that it was this life, some childhood issue, or a past life regression, or something genetic? Because there's nobody, genetically having an issue in our known family. So if you have any inputs on this, I could love to hear.
See, it could be a combination of all, right? Even if it is genetic, also again this example holds good. It is all about how this that gene is being triggered to get expressed. So that one we have to look into, and you have to ask the mother how she was during her throughout her pregnancy. Was she pretending to be deaf to certain things because she really wanted to protect her pregnancy from all unnecessary things? There are so many things which has to be looked into. But after reading this biology of belief, reading that metaphor, so many books as such, what I feel is like any genetic disorder can be reversed, actually speaking. It takes a lot of time, but I'm very much convinced with that. Like genetic disorders can be, see, epigenetics is the one that has the key. So he also talks about the same thing. Epigenetics, the environment around in which the human is being uh, brought up. So if we are able to, correct that, not the environment, but the way the human is responding to it, then probably yes, we have more chances of reversing, um, the genetic disorder. At least the symptoms for which they are suffering with, we can definitely get it down. So that's what I feel. I mean, my opinion.
No, there are episodes where suddenly it's like when she hears a sound, she moves, she goes. Even if it's the next room, she goes. But it's like only 1% of the time. But like almost 99% of the time, it's like she can't hear. But when my mother has a soul to soul talk, she responds.
No,
Like
actually speaking, I don't know which book I read. I don't think so this book, but I think Power of Intention. In Power of Intention, when there he says that I don't remember, but he has come up with the same story where the kid doesn't even have ears, the boy doesn't even have ears, but with Power of Intention, the boy started hearing. Probably I
wow.
will share that pages in the group.
Yeah.
That was like goosebumps. Imagine the ear, it doesn't have that nerve connection, nerve signal to the brain as well. So obviously he cannot hear at all. But I mean, even telling by itself, it's like goosebumps. See, even that is also possible. Eventually, that fellow really does well in his academics. He becomes a very good sports, or he's into some kind of music. I forgot. But the point here is, even without ears, that fellow was able to respond to the sounds.
So, Revati, I think that is from Power of Subconscious Mind.
No, not. I think Power of Intention. It's not.
I have read it in Power of Subconscious Mind. Exactly the
Probably.
same story which you're
Okay.
referring.
Okay. Probably.
Yeah.
I maybe a
So
repetition
so
in Power.
that
It
that
because.
boy's
Uh,
that
hmm,
boy's father used to tell him every day that you
hmm,
are very good in hearing. You're very good
correct.
in hearing and you can hear a lot. So such kind of affirmations the father has told him for years together. So
Yes.
I think when he was like 12 or 13 years old, then he started, they checked and it was all developed and he was able to hear it.
Here.
I
Yes.
think that's the story.
Yes. Yes. Same story. But I remember I read this Power of Intention recently, so I remember from that. Probably subconscious mind also. It is a repetition. I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe
Yeah.
could be from there also. Okay. Yes,
Thank,
Neelamji, please.
thank you so much, Revati. Thank you so much.
Nisha,
Yes,
Yeah.
just
Nisha. Thank
one
you.
thing. You cannot talk to the girl per se, but you can at least get a history from the parents. Again, in this
Okay.
book, it is mentioned that the kid does not respond to what happened during the when he was in the mother's womb, but it can be pre-birth also, when the parents actually think of having a baby. So, what kind of relationship these two people have? You can just check that up and you can easily make the kid recover.
Okay.
So, not
Okay.
necessarily a talk. See, the point is, kid doesn't suffer. The parents are suffering because of it,
Exactly. Exactly.
right? So, talk to the parents and you'll get to know what is a major cause.
Yeah. She had, from what I know, she had fear, some unknown fear when she was pregnant. So she went for counseling, but it did not settle. I think from the second or third month of pregnancy, she had that issue. But now she's pregnant again, and she said she does not have the same now. It's okay.
Again, would
Um,
request you to just talk to her once, heart to heart. You would get to know multiple things there.
okay. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Not just
Good.
the mother, but with the father also.
Okay, I understand. Now, one more thing, as Revati was telling, maybe she would turn a deaf ear. Now there's because this is my brother's wife. She's had some issues with my mom, which she expressed only recently. Okay, but she mentioned the word, since my marriage, I've been tolerating this. Okay, so maybe she had been turning a deaf ear during her pregnancy. Okay, somewhere I could relate. Yeah. Okay, I don't know how much he will open, but I think I can talk to my brother. Both.
Nisha, first rule of being holistic, you cannot treat your family members
Okay, okay. I get
because
it.
they
Okay.
would literally not open up and you will be biased.
Okay.
So take help of any
On
senior
top of
coach
that,
to get
we will
that
become
knowledge.
judgmental.
Yes, 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 yes.
Correct, correct.
So I want to add one more point, which I hear, as Neelam rightly said. See, I have a case of a child who is 10 years old, but her TSH levels are 175. You know, she's only 10 years. She won't develop this TSH levels to that extent because of her own self. It's definitely something related to her state of pregnancy, time of pregnancy. No, it's always, it helps, but don't question them. Try to understand them. Try to understand, try to bring up more knowledge. If you have an intention to help and understand through you, then it becomes easier. So let's not be an interrogator.
I don't get you. I don't get you. Sorry. Can you just repeat that?
Uh, sorry, guys, I'm in a metro. Can you please continue?
Sir would say, sir, please go ahead.
Not explaining this to Nisha's question, right, what Jyoti said, but it's a wonderful presentation, Rati. Well done, congratulations. So luckily today I have recording of this AI companion and also my AI reader for the presentation, and it's wonderful that you have brought up Dr. Natwar book into this. So madam also asked me to read this, but somehow I couldn't. But you have given, I mean, I know few stories through Dr. Sharath. I mean, Dr. Natwar is from, for the people who don't know, he is from Heartfulness Meditation. Okay, and he practices in Chennai, and I used to send him a few cases earlier. And he wrote this book. A very nice guy, nice to talk with and all. And now he is practicing in Middle East, I think, also in Middle East, apart from being in Chennai. So, yeah, the conscious parenting part is quite important, and all the things that you have mentioned, it is quite exhaustive, but I really liked the way you pulled it off. And good to see that you are now able to generate nice visuals, but the text part you are unable to get rid of your MPhil text heavy, text loading information to read the content so that you don't miss the flow. But I get it, but you can keep it in your speaker notes
Okay.
and give them the simple lines. Okay, that will make it look more professional. And yeah, as Priya said, both the cases, I mean, it was referred in both the books, both in Power of Intention and in Power of Subconscious Mind. Because I clearly know that Priya might have not read Wayne Dyer yet, because reading for her is a mountaineering task. So,
I have read it, sir. Power of Intention I've completed.
by John Wayne Dyer.
Yeah, Dr. Wayne Dyer, yes.
Oh my goodness.
It
That is
it has
news to me.
tremendously helped me to manage first year of my married life.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, but it needs a wonderful and extended discussion, but unfortunately I have to leave. But I have a lot of things to discuss on this, especially for newcomers and yeah. What actually don't be, what do you say? Jyoti madam mentioned, don't be an interrogator. Yeah. See, Kill the Interrogator, Nisha, is one of the workshops that we did in volume 2 of Advanced HNTP. And right now I have given access to all the lifetime members, but I didn't see some of your names in the Google form, and those people who have submitted in the Google form along with their payment details and all, only they have got access. So if you haven't, please fill up the form again if you haven't received. And if you are sending it directly in the WhatsApp group, just show me when did you subscribe, because I cannot go back and check all my WhatsApp, and these days I am not saving any of the WhatsApp conversations. So yeah, please do that and I'll give you the access. Same with Dr. Karthika and Sambar Batch. Please check with her whether she subscribed for lifetime or not, because some of the people, what they're doing is they paid for this holistic online activity, and they're asking for this 3-month subscription and as well as lifetime access. So this group is exclusively for life access members, and those who have subscribed for it, yeah, you need to fill up the Google form so that the data stays in one single place. Okay, so see you all very soon with a couple of updates, because I thought of conducting one review session today about this awards that I'm planning for Holisticon, recognizing the contributions from all the coaches, the kind of work that you did in different categories. I asked for nominations, but none of you have come up with any kind of ideas. And there are so many things about research papers, publication, and the website, and all these things, and other activities that we plan to do. So, if possible, if it is not possible for today, I'll do it sometime tomorrow or whenever my time permits. But I'm literally got caught up in so many activities, but I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Again, wonderful effort, Ravati. This is like really a classic, one of the best by you.
Thank you, sir. Finally got a good feedback from you for my book review. I remember the previous book review where you said a lot of things. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And coaches, so before I end, any other questions? Any more questions? No?
No questions, only applauds.
Thank you. Thank you so much. No, this network thing came up at the very last minute. I don't know whether how many of you witnessed the time taken, the click taken. I took it only this morning, and just 2 hours before I thought, okay, why can't I add this as well? Because see, more than we keep saying that studies and things, if one case story, the real life story, that too from the author itself, will give a more impact, and it will actually make us also more conscious when we speak to our kids. So Sar always says, like, the monitor will read whatever is being keyed in. That's it. We cannot say like, okay, I said that, but you are not so. That doesn't work with the kids, at least till the age of 6. And yeah, after from 6 to 12, again, it is very tender age. So I thought I should pull that, and good, it worked. And so yeah, this is from my end. So be more conscious. Yes, Sambodhi.
Ma'am, you shared this story, I remember, in one of
Yes,
our 2
yes.
p.m.
2
sessions.
p.m. session.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So the story you discussed already in some parenting classes only you are taking, I guess. Yeah.
Yes. How every word actually matters, how it shapes someone's health as well. So yes, it is a repetition for people who used to attend my 2 p.m. And yeah. So Neelamji, any closing notes from your end before I no? So I
The
will stop
session.
the recording. Yeah, I will stop the recording 1 minute.